Two questions. Who do we work for?
The American people, sir!
And who are the American people going to call when they're in trouble?
The U.S. Border Patrol, sir!
Hello everybody, I'm Ron Myers. I was going through my stuff and dug up some videos and photos of the 226th session, Fort McClellan, Alabama, 1988. I thought people might be interested in seeing some of this stuff, might see themselves in a picture or two. I'd like to point out some of the lessons I learned in that project. Number one is the quality of people is more important than the quality of the stuff that you have available, because we didn't have much stuff, but we sure had some good people. They rose to the occasion. And I also learned that dedicated, motivated people can accomplish a project in spite of politics in Washington. And boy, we sure had a lot of interfering politics. I learned that family support is invaluable because it was very stressful and the families really supported us. And most importantly, that God is in control and He will providentially care for those who honor Him. And I sure found that out, because there were some providential occurrences that really made this a miracle class. First of all, we only had a really short time, a matter of just a few weeks, to get set up. We didn't have any money. We didn't have any real authority to enter into any contracts or anything. But we needed beds, we needed lockers, desks, more classrooms, food service, all kinds of stuff, and even had to put bathrooms and showers in some of the buildings. But everybody rose to the occasion and had things pretty much ready just as the trainees were getting ready to show up and move in, even though it was really austere and instructors had to do things besides instructing, a lot of physical labor. We also recognized that the trainees had a lot of stress too. They'd been stockpiled out in the field, didn't know exactly what was going to happen, and so they showed up one weekend, 250 on Saturday, 250 on Sunday, and we had to start training on Monday morning. You can only imagine what the trainees thought when they reported in. But the two regions had them stockpiled for quite a while and had taught them some marching and general things, which really helped us out. One of the regions even told their trainees that they were going to be staying at tents in Fort McClellan. So when that region's class showed up, they were really excited to actually be in buildings, even though it was just open bay barracks. The barracks were not designed for long-term occupancy. They were just for weekend training of National Guardsmen. They'd crash there for a couple of days and then go back home. But our guys had to be there for several months, and we needed some lockers, some place for them to hang clothes, give them a little privacy. And but nobody could find any lockers. Headquarters couldn't find any lockers. The military said they couldn't find any lockers, but my dad, who was a retired command sergeant major, was talking to me one day, and he said, "You know, your cousin is head of DRMO. That's a disposal unit there at Fort Benning, and she might be able to help." And so I called her, and she said, "Yeah, we got all the lockers you would need. You just have to get down here and pick them out and haul them up there." So I sent a team down, and they identified 500 lockers. And I asked for transportation to get them moved up, and of course headquarters couldn't find any transportation. So we went to the Fort McClellan transportation unit, and there was a captain over there that said all he had was some 6-ton trucks, but he would be happy to schedule a training mission if we'd provide the labor, and his guys would run the trucks down and back for us. So our instructors, when they showed up, instead of studying and getting ready for class, they had to take a time out and run down there and physically load all these lockers and bring them back up and get them in shape for the students. And of course, students didn't realize all that, but they had benefit of the the lockers and the best we could set up for them. On another occasion, I was chatting with my dad on the phone, and he asked me how things were going. I told him it was going okay, but the National Guard kind of got dumped on. They weren't expecting us, and even though they were supportive, they were kind of cool, and not 100%. He said, well, you've never met him, but your cousin is the commanding general of the Alabama National Guard. And he said, I think I'll give him a call. And lo and behold, a couple of days later, a helicopter landed. Out pops General. He chats with the facility manager there, a major that was really great guy and very helpful to us. They chatted for a while, and when he hopped back in his helicopter and flew away, from that time on, we got the deluxe treatment from the National Guard, and they saved our bacon in a lot of regards. From food service to janitorial to all kinds of stuff. They really, really did a great job. And the sectors were great. They provided facilities people to come in and work to install bathrooms and showers in some of the dorms, the old wooden dorms that didn't have those. They scrounged around and found student desks, hundreds of student desks, and sent those out in a big truck, and of course it took us several days to put them all together, but the sectors provided that. The sector sent us vehicles for the driver training course. All of this stuff had to fall into place in order for this training to occur. There was no driver training course, but we did find an abandoned emergency airstrip and came up with a design to overlay it with a driver training course, but it was going to take quite a while to get that done, so we had to shove all of the driver training toward the end of the schedule as far as we could, so that it would give the contractors time to get that ready and still get driver training in the curriculum. And all of these kinds of things had to happen at a precise time, or the whole thing would have fallen apart. But through God's providence, everything occurred right on schedule, and everything fell right into place. I'm going to quit talking and show you a clip of a dog and pony show that occurred when we'd only been there a week. We were struggling just to keep our heads above water, but headquarters INS wanted some photo ops, and here's what happened.
Academy! Head hut! 2 questions. Who do we work for?
The American people, sir!
And who are the American people going to call when they're in trouble?
The U.S. Border Patrol, sir!
Academy! Head hut! Class leaders, dismiss your class in numerical order and return to the training area. Section 1. Dismiss!
226, Fort Brother Eagles on the road, sir!
Section 1. Right! Hey!
Class 226,
All right! Huh!
is
Hey!
Class 226, parade of speed, green machine, sir! Green, 226, all white, sir! but it's been said. I don't know, but it's been said. Custom badges melee.
Estos son los reclutas que el comisionado de inmigración llama su línea verde, la fuerza de seguridad para finalmente poder controlar las fronteras del país.
What this place has done to me. Place has done to me.
Eyes open.
Little accent.
I understand that concept.
I like Take care. I sure will. I try to spend every weekend because they don't expect this
Got a few pictures of driver training. I don't have any pictures of firearms or PT, just one of PT. Maybe somebody out there's got some photos that they could post. But yeah, we had to build a driver training course. The National Guard loaned us a tank. Driver training guys drove around, made a little trail for the four-wheel drive course. The driver training course was finished just in time for that to occur. We also had some family involvement where the wives brought their little kids to the training area and passed out candy on Halloween to the trainees, and at Christmas did kind of the same thing. Here's a shot of that. But the trainees had been away from home, missing their kids and all, it meant a lot to them. And here's the graduation day at the post gym. 360 something graduates, and it was scorching hot, unseasonably hot, but everybody tolerated it well, and trainees were happy to graduate. We were disappointed we didn't get to do the second class since we were all set up, but this is how the project ended. Hard work by the staff and students alike ended up with a good bunch.